Dive into the heart of Cleveland's business community with the Cleveland Burning Podcast. Join me, Kim Kitchen, owner of Burning River Marketing, and Kirk Tietz, owner of Cleveland Custom Coatings, as we explore the untold stories of local business owners. In this engaging series, we focus on the setbacks, accidents, and unexpected turns that pave the way for ultimate success. So just like the Cuyahoga River ignited change in the city, our podcast showcases how adversity can spark innovation and growth. Hear from passionate entrepreneurs who have braved the flames of failure and emerged stronger and more resilient. Get ready for candid conversations and a behind-the-scenes look at the business landscape in Cleveland. What's up, Kirk?
My van was in the shop 2 days ago.
Okay.
All day trying to get around. I had all these appointments to make, and I finally called an Uber because I got tired of trying to ask Nick for a ride.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, the Uber guy showed up. He was driving me to this appointment I was going to. I was like, man, is it scary being an Uber driver? You know, how's that go? He's like, man, I love it. He's like, it's the best thing ever. I'm my own boss. I do whatever I want. I don't listen to anything anybody tells me what to do. I said, okay, can you turn left here?
Nice. Okay. Well, welcome to the Cleveland Burning Podcast, where we dive into the stories of local professionals who've braved the flames of adversity and emerged stronger than ever. I'm your host, Kim Kitchen.
And I'm Kirk Tietz, and today we're interviewing Dr. Scott Sedlacek. Did I say that right?
Sedlacek.
Sedlacek.
It's
Right.
like send the check.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sedlacek.
He's with the
Sedlacek.
eye place in Olmsted Falls, and I know you're going to introduce him.
Yeah, it would be my pleasure. So just because I've known Scott slightly longer. So I am a patient of Scott's. He actually just saw my daughter today. Amazing experience. I would love to talk more about the eye place, but hopefully you'll talk about the eye place. I mean, we used to go to America's Best, which is like a contact place. I guess they do everything the same, but it's like totally a different experience. Like it's just night and day. So I know Dr. Scott through BNI. I don't know if you remember this, but you visited our BNI chapter like a couple of years ago.
I do remember
Maybe
that.
3 or 4 years ago. It was before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I think even it was Jeanette that invited you, the from downstairs, from Minuteman Press.
Yeah, so it was still at Best Damn Tacos.
Oh, yes. But even before that, you met us at the rec center. You visited us at the rec center. That was like a long time ago, and you said Thursdays are never good for me because I wanted you in the chapter bad.
I did not know that was
our chapter.
your chapter. I know that I had visited a BNI previous to the one that I visited.
Yep.
Because I've been invited to some of them over time.
Yep. No, you visited us. We were at the rec center in North Olmsted, right next to the ice
Amazing.
skating rink.
I remember.
And I think Jeanette was the one that invited you.
Wow.
And you were like, this is an anomaly. I never have Thursdays off. You know, I've always wanted to be a part of a BNI, but you know, Thursdays don't work for me. Friday's the only day. And so what's interesting, and I know you know this, is Scott actually started the BNI chapter that you're in now because he wanted one on Friday. So he just made one on Friday. So all I know about you is that you run an amazing business, that you are super detail oriented, that you love technology and teamwork, and that you're a go-getter. And I'm super impressed and glad that you're in my life. Kirk, did you want to say something about Scott?
Actually, yeah. So I've actually been a customer of his as well. It was a great experience going in there, getting the eyes checked. He has state-of-the-art machinery. So I enjoyed it so much. I recommended my daughter go there. She went there. She liked it so much. She recommended her fiance now has an appointment.
Nice.
So, I mean, I definitely say that he's a good soccer player too. He also plays on our soccer team, and we enjoy having him. Everybody on the team was super excited when he showed up, and he's got some skill there. So
Yeah.
it's good to have you here, and I'm pretty excited to hear the story you gotta say.
Yeah, I find you very interesting. Like I can only imagine what story you're going to tell us. But so here, let me tell the audience real quick. If they haven't been to the eye place and they kind of want to know what they're in for, I was first impressed by the massage chair. Did you get a chance to sit in the massage chair? Yeah. Like you usually go in some place, you have to sit in some waiting room, and it's so annoying that you have to go there.
We don't have a waiting room. We have a reception area.
It's very nice. It's got
That's
like
right.
a foosball
It's got
table.
a foosball table. That was the first impression I got.
I was like,
And then he was on the phone talking to somebody. He started talking about you got to shoot the score and everything. And I'm sitting there thinking, hold on a second. He's talking my language now.
That's how you knew
I have
you
no
played soccer?
idea. And then I held up my soccer shoes and said, hey, you're talking my language. And then I got into my phone because he was on the phone and I didn't want to interrupt. And the next thing you know, the soccer ball comes rolling across the floor and hits me in the foot. And I went, oh no, we're friends already.
Yeah, it's like I could see the hearts probably.
Yeah, there
coming
was a little
up,
bit of love,
romance there.
sure enough.
So Dr. Scott, tell us about the eye place. How long have you been there? What's the size of the practice? Whatever goes into describing like the level of success that I know you've accomplished so far.
So the eye place is, well, it's called the eye place, but really what we are is advanced eye care.
Okay.
And that's even what it says on my
Advanced
shirt.
eye
And it doesn't just say
care,
advanced
genetic
eye
wellness, it
care.
says.
Right.
Yeah.
We actually back it up. And we do that with technology, advanced technology. I have pieces of equipment that nobody else in the area has, and also different types of treatments as well. And so it's one thing to be able to detect something, but it's another thing to actually be able to use the most advanced treatments so that actually people can keep the vision they have, as opposed to just trying to follow your problem over time and monitor you and measure you and track you and follow you while your vision goes. That's no good.
Yeah.
'Cause my job is for you to
Keep your vision.
see,
See.
look,
Okay.
and feel your best for the rest of your life. So that's really what we do. We don't sell things to people. My goal is actually for you to see, look, and feel your best. And the way to do that is having advanced technology, advanced treatments, and always having continuing education. And so that's a really big thing with not only myself, but also my entire team of people at the eye place is continuing education. And all doctors have to do that. You know that.
Sure.
I mean, you're supposed to go take classes, but a lot of times you just, it's review of things you probably forgot and probably don't even need to do anymore. But you have to go take these hours. You sit through the class, you pay your money, you send in your certificates, and you get to keep your license. Now, unfortunately, that's how continuing education happens in a lot of all medical professionals probably. But I've never done that. I've always strived to learn things that's new, cutting edge, so that I can bring those things into my patient care on a daily basis. Yeah. So I think that sets me apart from a lot of other doctors. Patients tell me that. I've had blank and blank eye exams at so many other places, and I've never been told that.
Right.
And you know why? It's because a lot of doctors practice based on what they learned when they were in school.
Right. That's all.
And the
they
older
really
you
wanna
are,
know.
longer ago that was.
Yeah.
You know?
No, what sets you apart, in my opinion, is that you can tell that you're a curious person, that your brain wants to know more. And when you go to America's Best, not to that's just like it's just a cookie cutter place where they're just checking off boxes. They want your money for the contact lenses or the glasses or whatever. When I saw you, I didn't even have a problem, but you still put me through all these different machines and you were like interested. I felt like you were like genuinely interested in like what's the status of my eyes. We found a freckle. I have a like a freckle in my eyeball that's like we're just gonna keep watching and this shouldn't be a problem. But like who would know that? America's Best, they don't care what's going on. And then when I was having issues with just like an itchy eye or not being able to see because I'm getting older and not being able to read my phone, you're like, well, let's troubleshoot. So I feel like the difference with you and these other places is that you are curious. And so I think it's that same curiosity that probably makes you want to learn all the new technologies. And that you feel that as a patient, you feel like, oh, this dude like really wants to like know everything about my eyeballs and my sight, and he wants to make sure that I get like I'm able to see the best that I can based on what my situation is.
Yeah.
I think part of the key to a good marriage is that your eyesight declines at the same rate that your spouse's looks decline.
That could be helpful.
Oh my God.
That's true.
You're also very active in the community, aren't you? Like I know when I was there, and I don't know if it was a nice day when I was there, and so we were sitting outside, and there's like a waterfall. They got a little thing, and like this woman, I don't know who she was. Was she like the mayor, or it just seemed like you were the mayor, but everybody knew you. They were coming around.
Some people call me the sheriff.
Are they? Oh, okay.
I don't know.
So do you hold a position in the local government or with Chamber of Commerce, or what are all of your connections?
Well, the only mayor I would ever want to be would probably be like the mayor of Safety Town, probably.
Okay.
But as far as a political position, but beyond that, but I do a lot of stuff in the community because it's like my civic duty, and I enjoy it. It's even when I got out of school, I started volunteering in the community, and it's everything from the Chamber of Commerce to Kiwanis, even in the local schools through PTA.
Okay.
And I got involved with a program called the Realize program, and it's where a doctor goes into schools and does a presentation that's age appropriate, and it teaches kids about how important their vision is, how to protect their vision, and basically the value of taking care of your eyes. And we use games and songs and dances, and it's really interesting because it's fun.
That sounds like
but
fun.
it's important, it's impactful, it's fun, and it's how I got involved in the school as being a volunteer. And it's kind of like a one-man play, really. And
I want to see this now.
it's amazing. Yeah, it got more and more popular. And then I've been doing that for about 20 years since the inception of the program. And so I've done it in over 32 different school systems in Ohio, basically the whole top half of Ohio. And it reaches about 2,000 students per year, and some years more than others. And I think I was the first volunteer doctor in Ohio to reach 20,000 students.
Wow.
And so it's a lot of time.
That's so
But I really
cool.
enjoy it. I love it. And it makes me feel good. And I think it's important to give back to the community from which I came. And that's a way that I enjoy doing that.
Now, do you have like a name? Like, I mean, so remember Officer Friendly used to come to our school when I was
Sammy
a kid?
Safe Eyes.
Is that what you are?
Yeah.
You're serious? No, I'm serious. Are
I'm
you
serious.
Sammy Safe Eyes?
Yeah. Well, there's 4 programs.
Okay.
It's age appropriate curriculum. So Sammy Safe Eyes is for the little kids.
Yep.
Vinny Vision is
I
for
knew
the
there was going to be a
3rd,
character.
4th, and 5th grade.
Yep.
And then Vision Impossible instead of Mission Impossible.
Okay.
Right.
Or Kim
So-
Possible.
So
That's what I was thinking.
yeah. So depending on the what grade level the presentation is for, that's where the character in the program changes a little bit.
Okay.
But it's a blast. It's fun. Yeah.
It sounds like fun. So, Kirk, did you have anything to add? You know, usually he does.
Actually,
About
I always
Sammy
thought it was
Safe Eyes?
I always thought it was weird that, you know, people always go and take other people's glasses and they put them on and then they're like, "Wow, your eyes are messed up." I'm like, that's why they wear them, right? Like it would be like getting somebody's wheelchair and wheeling around the room and then being like, "Wow, your legs must be really messed up to need this."
Terrible. I know. It's yeah.
I don't have nothing. Go ahead. You know the theme of this. We try to warn everybody.
She's tried to reel you in twice. I don't know if there's going to be a third time.
You know what?
over
You
here.
said age appropriate, like, you know, play, and I just thought that Kirk would want to know what the age inappropriate stuff content was, but he did not asking, so I guess we can move on.
You know, we always try to give everybody a little bit of the theme until you understand this is about, you know, running into issues, problems, train wrecks, things that happen along your way to success. It sounds like you've been very successful in your endeavor, and I'm sure that it has come with some issues, failures, maybe even that moment where you reconsider, why am I even doing this? That's definitely what excites me about this podcast. And I would love to hear a story you have about, you know, something that made you successful that was and maybe at one point a reason why you would have quit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a few stories that come to mind. Some more personal than others. Some I definitely can't share on this podcast.
Okay.
And we can talk about that maybe after a soccer game sometime. And,
I'm up for it.
But yeah, so I think one thing that I think was important along the way to where I am now is that anyone starting out a business they have an idea of what they want to do. Mm-hmm. And they're ready to do it, and they're going to do it on their own, and they maybe lose their confidence, and they don't follow through. That's kind of what happened to me.
Yeah.
Because if I would tell you how the history of where I got to the iPlace now was that I went to I was at Berea High School. I'm a local kid here. I went to Berea High School, and my first job at Berea High School was working for an eye doctor at Parmatown Mall.
Oh, cool.
Yes, Vision World, Dr. Kretsch, great guy. And I did recall cards out of a shoebox, index cards. I copied addresses from index cards in shoeboxes in alphabetical order onto postcards to send them to his patients because there was no computers or phones or anything at the time, right? And so that was my first job, working for an eye doctor. I did that all through high school, and I thought it was kind of cool what he was doing. And so when I went to undergrad, I went to Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, and I worked for some eye doctors. I came home for the summers, and I still thought that was a really good career. So I think I might want to do that. I kind of liked it. And then I applied to Ohio State College of Optometry, and I got in. And even while I was in Columbus for 4 years, down there doing all my optometry and medical studying, I worked for a couple different eye doctors while I was in Columbus. So really, my only job, it's kind of rare for someone at 16 to get their first job in a profession or a field and never change their
Look
mind.
back. Yeah.
Right.
So I wanted to have my own practice, just like all the places I've worked. I wanted to start up my own thing and be a business owner. And I got out of optometry school, and I realized I didn't think I could do it because I just wasn't sure.
Sure.
I doubted myself, and so I didn't
Yeah.
start my own practice. And I had the opportunity to do that, and instead I joined two other guys. So it was a group practice that was already formed. They were looking for another doctor, and I figured, well, you know what? I'll just join them. It's safe. They already have an established practice in the area. I can be an eye doctor, and I was to be a partner in about 5 years. They were going to
Okay.
make me a partner after kind of sweat equity.
Yeah, that's not a
You
bad
build
deal.
the practice, you grow the practice, you prove yourself, and after 5 years, you'll be a
Your
partner.
name's on the billboard.
That's right.
Yeah.
So all along the way, I realized I just didn't like the way things were going because I didn't have control over it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have much say in what was happening because I was the junior associate. And they had me doing things like changing light bulbs and plunging toilets and firing people.
Oh.
You know, like I did all the dirty work, you know,
Yeah,
of,
literally.
of the running
Yeah.
the business.
Yeah.
Okay. And so actually the first time I had to fire somebody, I cried. She didn't care. She was trying to get fired. She already had another job down the road for like $1 more an hour. And for a week, I dreaded firing her. And she didn't care. She laughed and left, and I cried. But anyway, so after about 4.5 years, I realized these guys, I didn't want to be partners. I didn't like the way they treated their staff, obviously.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way they treated patients either. I didn't like the way they treated me. And so I just walked away, and I just quit.
So did you fire yourself?
I did.
Yeah.
And I cried again
Very good.
because I just
For doing
wait.
the
I just
fire and not for getting fired,
both.
right?
Yeah. So I just wasted. Everybody told me, you are insane, dude. You can be made a partner in this practice, growing
Right.
practice. You just sweat equity. You grew them. You grew this practice from here to here. And they're going to have all the gains and you're just walking away. And I said, I just can't do it. One of my friends told me, he said, the funny thing about being a partner is that it's kind of like when you join as a partner, it's kind of like getting married,
It 100% is.
but
Yeah.
no sex.
Yeah.
And then
that's
my
like
other
married.
friend said to me, it's the same thing. There's no difference. So
must
I
have
was
been
like,
married for a while.
yeah, I'm like, I don't know. so
Right.
anyway,
It is the same thing. You need to figure out the divorce decree before you even get started in a partnership.
so I walked away from that practice, and then I actually did start my own business called the Eye Place, and
So that was what year? Like how long ago now?
2004.
Okay.
like that.
Almost
Yeah,
20
so,
years.
yeah.
Are we having a party? Like
Yeah.
a 20-year been in business
Yeah.
party?
Sure.
Okay.
So the thing that I learned after that 5 years, because everyone said I wasted my time, and you know what I learned all along the way from high school to Miami to OSU to even that 5 years in that practice, I learned what not to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's more important than what to do.
It
I
is.
learned what not to do. And so when I started the Eye Place, even though it took me a lot longer to get to where I wanted to be, I think now I'm probably further along than I would have been had I started on my own day one.
Right. Because you learn from their mistakes, like what you didn't
I did.
like.
I learned on their
Yep.
dime,
Yep.
and I learned in their practice, and I learned all about running a business. Because you go to optometry school, you learn to be an eye doctor. There's no business classes,
Right.
right?
Really? I guess
No.
I didn't really think of that.
No, that's why a lot of eye doctors come out of school and they end up working in a place like America's Best
Yeah.
or some other retail center because they just show up, do their thing, and leave.
Right.
And it's easier. I never wanted that though. I always wanted to have my own business. So I think if you really want to start a business and you want to do it your way, you just got to have enough confidence to follow through with it and make the best of it.
Yeah. That's cool. I really love that.
This might be sound a little bit crazy, but I noticed in some of the other places that I've seen, they tend to sell glasses, and they have like an eye doctor there, so they can get the prescription. And it sounds like you're the different. You're the eyeglass, you're the eye doctor, excuse me, and the eyeglasses are a secondary thing that you could or could not sell.
That's exactly true. And so honestly, it gets back to even like the mission of what I told you I do. My goal is not to sell things to people. Like when you come in, I don't expect you to necessarily buy anything. I'm there to educate you about your eyes.
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
Yeah.
With the equipment I have. My goal is to learn everything I can about your eyes and tell you what I find. Good, bad, or indifferent. And one of the treatments I'm very happy to provide people is no treatment at all.
Yeah.
I tell you have healthy eyes. Your general health is good. I talk to you about how you can keep your vision, things, strategies so that you can keep it that way. but I'm not interested in like selling you anything necessarily.
Yeah.
And so that is a interesting, observation that you made.
Absolutely.
And I think that a lot of places you go, you walk in and you feel like you're going to be made to buy something.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
just
well,
never,
that's why
we
they're
just
there.
never
Not to
Yeah.
name
do
any
that.
names, but I've been in a few eyeglass places where it seems like the doctor's just there so they can give you a prescription so they can sell you the glasses.
Right.
The goal is to sell you the glasses, though.
So
Definitely not the feeling
way
I got
business
when
is
I
set
came
up
there.
as far as optometry practices, traditionally, believe it or not, 2/3 of the gross of the business is traditionally like optical, like eyeglass sales.
Okay.
2/3. And most optometry practices take all insurances, right?
All right.
Every insurance they can possibly take, because that's the only way they can get butts in their seat by being on vision plans. So when I started the eye place, it's completely different. 80% of my patients either don't have insurance or don't use insurance.
Yeah, I didn't look.
Because we provide such a high valuable service at a fair price
Yep.
that it's a better overall value. And so that's a different model. And I think that's the difference, is that I am more than happy to help you, whether you need glasses, contacts, eye surgery, eye drops, eye emergency treatment. I see patients 24 hours a day. I see young kids, old people. I am a primary care eye doctor. So my day is so different, and I'm not there to just sell glasses like some other places do. They want to be in that exam room every 6 minutes, finding somebody's prescription to get that back out front to make another sale.
Yep. 100%. I've seen it.
Yeah.
So for our listeners, I know there's a lot of eye doctors or I think sometimes there's some confusion. I once did SEO for an ophthalmologist, which is very hard to spell. Just so, I mean, I find it, there's OPHTHAL. I mean, there's like ophthalmologist. So they deal with surgeries like cataracts, glaucoma. I know I've heard you talk about that as well, because you might detect it, but you wouldn't you wouldn't do the surgery on it.
I do
Like,
everything but
explain.
surgery, correct.
Okay.
Whereas an ophthalmologist is a surgeon.
Okay.
Now, they might also do things like general medical eye evaluations, but typically they want to be doing surgery,
Right.
because that's what they're trained to do and need to be doing for their business model.
And that's
where they're gonna
LASIK.
make their most
like
money.
you don't
Right.
do any type of LASIK,
Right.
right?
So I co-manage LASIK eye surgery, cataract surgery, lid surgery, muscle surgery, any type of surgery you need. I do all the pre-operative and post-operative work.
Okay.
And I've even worked in a couple of laser centers over the years, even part-time on my days off, and covering a couple of my really good optometry colleagues. While on maternity leave, I worked in a laser center to cover for one of my good optometry friends. And so I really like the variety of my practice. It really truly is everything but surgery. And if I have a young person in my office, they may not want to come, but they don't want to leave because they have a great experience.
Yeah.
And I do a different eye exam on a 2-year-old, then a 4-year-old, then a 6-year-old, then an 8-year-old. Again, it's age appropriate. And I have kids. I know how to work with kids. I work in the schools with kids, not besides my own kids.
Right.
And so I make it a stress-free experience for the parents who have to bring their kids for an eye exam, because they dread it too.
Yeah.
So, whether you're somebody who's a first-time wearer of contacts, or you're interested in getting eye surgery, or you're a older person and you're losing your vision from something as serious as macular degeneration.
Is that the silent theft of sight? There's like
That's more like
something about it.
glaucoma.
Okay, glaucoma.
Yeah, glaucoma slowly closes in your side vision, so you don't really know you have it until it's kind of too late.
There's one of those things that like it doesn't even have any symptoms, and then before you know it, you wake up, you're blind.
No pain.
Which one's that
You
one?
don't feel it.
Is that the glaucoma?
So, more so, yeah. But macular degeneration is very serious, and it's your central vision. Macular degeneration. The macula is the back dead center of your eye. It's your aimer.
Ooh.
Like when
Aimer.
I look at you,
Oh, like
I'm
it
using my
aims
macula.
your- okay.
When you do this, it's macula. When you read,
Very aggressive.
you use your macula.
That's funny because when I was in school, we had a kid that only had one eye. We used to call him Aimer.
There you go.
It always looked like he was aiming a
Yeah.
gun.
Right.
Well, Scott, unless you have do you have any other like failure type stories that you want to talk about? Kirk needs to recover over there from his awesome joke.
His joke reminded me of some other jokes, but when we just here telling
Yeah.
silly jokes to each other.
But
My stories are real.
But now you're working with not with other doctors. You're the
Right.
only doctor at your practice,
Right.
right? Would you ever take on another doctor? Is that something you ever considered?
Sure.
You really?
Yeah, and I think because of the fact that I have lived through that process and been on the side of it that I was, I think I would much better be able to to do it the right way when I
Right.
bring on an associate, knowing that I would always view what I'm doing through the associate's eyes,
Yeah.
and be very mindful of how they're being treated and how what we're doing to actually have a true partnership.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That would be
and
great.
again, it might be kind of like marriage. You might have to fail once or twice and through a divorce to actually be married and learn your lessons to have a successful marriage. Who knows? It's again to that business. It's a relationship.
I think you'd be a great eye doctor to work
Yeah.
for.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I do. Like it. I mean, who wouldn't want a massage chair and a foosball table in the
Right.
office? So, well, tell us something going on, either something fun at the eye place, or I know you're involved in a lot of other projects, your BNI chapter. There's probably a bunch of other things going on. We always like to end with not a failure related story, but how can we help you? How can our listeners help you? What can we help promote about what you're doing now?
So as a other sort of thing I do that is not just in my practice only, but actually a network of optometrists around the country is, again, it's back in the area of macular degeneration. And because of the fact that that does cause the most amount of blindness in people over the age of 60, and more people are living longer. And the problem is that as you age, you have longevity, but your health might not keep up.
Right.
And so, unfortunately, eye diseases are age related. So the longer you live, the more likely there's a chance that you end up with serious eye problems.
Right.
People used to die when they were 65, right? So no one
Right,
had
so
cataracts.
no one
got
knew
cataracts because
that
they didn't live long
yeah,
enough.
right,
Now some
exactly.
people live to be 70 or 75. Now
Right.
everybody has cataracts, okay? Well, now people live to be 80 or 85. Now everyone's getting macular degeneration. And so there's never been any good treatments for that. So for the past 10 years, I've been working in really like functional medicine. And again, this gets back to continuing education, where this has nothing to do with glasses and contacts. I'm talking about working on a collaborative medical team that I work with MDs, PhDs, registered dietitians. We do very high-level testing on patients, and we put them on personalized care plans. And it involves really advanced science. And this is stuff that it's outpacing doctors' ability to learn it and use
Okay.
it. They're not paying attention.
Right.
So when you have macular degeneration, they tell you, oh, take some vitamins.
Yeah.
We'll see you next year.
Eat some carrots or something.
Yeah, that doesn't
That
work.
doesn't do anything.
That doesn't
Carrots?
work.
That was
Doesn't
a
work. Doesn't
fib
work.
made by.
Doesn't work.
Really? Carrots won't help me see late
No.
at night?
No.
That was made up for the war.
Yeah, it was.
It was literally made up for the war. They made that up so that people would wonder why they were able to shoot people out of the sky so well.
Yeah.
And they actually made up the lie to the Germans and said it was because our pilots eat carrots.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
Bugs
it's
Bunny
true.
too.
I'm gonna
He
have to
ate
Google
carrots.
this.
So
It's true, but the
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny bunnies don't even eat carrots. They eat the greens, but they don't
They
eat
eat the
carrots.
leaves.
So, but that was only because they were mocking.
All of a sudden we start talking about carrots and
That's
Kirk
awesome.
wakes up. Kirk's like, hey, I know all of this
Yeah, no,
information.
that was actually it was a spoof from a movie. It's supposed to be a cigar,
Oh,
but it became so popular that they just kept having them eat them. But rabbits don't eat carrots either.
okay.
So your whole carrot and eye theory, it does nothing.
Okay.
It has no reality.
But if
to
I
it.
had
there's things that are in carrots that are really good for your
Carotene.
eyes. Yes, but you can get those things in something other than a carrot.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually wrote a paper in school that was
And you know how many
the
carrots
title
you'd
of it
have
was
to eat?
there's 25 things you can eat that's better for your eyes than carrots. It's a great
Okay.
paper. I'd be happy to have you read that. You'd love it.
Oh,
Yeah, he
I'd
seems to be
bring it.
very
Yeah,
motivated
no,
by
I'm-
carrots.
So
and-
green leafy vegetables and colorful peppers is high on the list,
Oh, I
way
don't like
above carrots,
peppers.
way above carrots.
But
But
anyway,
but
so
it's functional medicine is what
Right.
I do, and it's everyone's into that because people want to be well. You know, you want your whole body to be well.
Right.
So what we do is we do testing, and we look at hormones,
okay.
we look at oxidative stress, methylation, inflammation.
Methylation.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's your biochemistry. It's in blood work. We do blood
Okay.
work. There's findings, and we can do things based on the results. Yeah, nutrition matters, obviously.
Yeah.
Genetics matter. I do genetic testing at the eye place.
Wow.
I do food sensitivity testing. So I do a lot of other things that other eye doctors don't do because it's important. What we do is we want you to, we want to optimize every
health,
cell in
yeah.
your body, including the cells in your eyes. So your eye health and your general health, They're inseparable.
Yeah.
People that are generally healthy, have good eye health. If your general health is no good, your eye health is usually no good, right?
Interesting.
They're very much not just related, but inseparable. So that's a space that I've been working to get all of optometry moving into. So not just I have my own practice at the eye place and I see patients and do all those things we've been talking about, but I'm actually the membership chair for the Ohio Optometric Association. So as far as my profession, the profession of optometry, like, as you know, that's what I wanted to do since my first job ever.
And you're 16 years
And
old.
yeah, and so I'm actually pushing the envelope for all eye doctors to be involved with advancing our scope of practice, modernizing our scope of practice, getting us to be part of a team of healthcare providers that's necessary in the future, not just selling glasses.
Right.
Right? Big difference.
Yeah. Well, and that ophthalmologist.
It shows up in your office that way.
It sure does. Yeah. The ophthalmologist that I was writing content for, when I was doing SEO for them, we connected a lot of just aging in place and healthy living to your eye health. Because if you are, I don't know, in your 60s and you start not being able to see, then you're going to trip, and then you trip, and then you fall, then your kids are like, Mom, we need to put you in a home, and so it's
I think
all.
when you break a hip, they got to shoot you, don't they?
I think so.
Pretty much.
No, you just eat carrots.
That was a horse, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
So-
horses do eat carrots. So.
Yeah, there we go. So it's all connected. So it makes a lot of sense that
Yeah.
you would focus more on just overall health, especially as we age, because people, like you said, are living longer. So
Yep.
overall health equals eye health equals being able to live longer in comfort, not in a home, like in your home,
Yeah.
where you can navigate and
Well,
not
you said it about
fall.
falling.
Yeah.
And, he falls on the soccer field. And that sometimes he's just running around and his foot just hits the carpet and he trips. That's called a
That's
carpet
true.
sniper in soccer.
true.
No one's around. You get up and you
And
look
the
and hope
funniest
nobody
part of
saw
that
you.
about
but-
this is he already gave my eyes a clean bill of health, so it's certainly not
Oh
my
my God.
seeing that's causing the problem.
After his appointment with you, he was like, I can see better than 20/20. He was so excited.
I was very proud.
He got bonus points on his
So,
test.
but the falling, you know,
Yeah.
the number one reason by far for going into the hospital from a fall, it's poor vision.
Yeah.
It's higher than the next three reasons combined.
Yeah.
So older people that have poor vision, yeah, you fall, you break your hip, you go to the hospital, no good.
Right.
Plus you're out driving a car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my dad right now sees double. He's seen an eye doctor. This is in Maine. Otherwise, he would be seeing you. And there's some kind of muscle he had surgery on. Maybe it starts with an A. I don't know. Anyway, it's supposed to, like, you've got two muscles, that help you look, and one of them, they had to cross them over. It seemed like they did like a tummy tuck for his eye muscle. That's what it sounded like. They got it wrong. And so he's seeing double. And we're driving home for like 45 minutes. And I didn't find out until afterwards that he saw double the whole time. And he's like, yeah, so where you would only see one telephone pole, I see two. Like, I can't even imagine. First of all, it should not be legal for him to be driving. He's a very healthy man. But the fact that he's even dealing with that, like, I can only imagine as you age and you go through this kind of stuff, like, how do you even navigate the world with, like, bad vision? Like, let alone seeing double and all these other things. You need a good eye doctor, like someone like you. So anyway.
Yep. Yeah, and it's about a lifetime of eye care, really. People show up only when they have vision loss. That's no good. If you wait till you have vision loss to come and see me, like, I'll tell you why you lost your vision, but a lot of
But there's
times
nothing you can
you're
do
not
at
getting
that
it back.
point. Yeah.
Vision loss, that's the problem. It's usually permanent, right? So that's why you need to have regular eye exam, right? Because with the technology I have, again, I can find things inside your eye that's going on before you know you have a problem. That's the best time to detect it early, because we can intervene, we can do something, and then you don't lose your vision. So that's the benefit of being on the preventive side of eye care and eye health, right? As opposed to, I haven't had an eye exam in 15 years, right? And I have patients on my intake form. It says, reason for today's visit. And it says, my wife made me come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so that brings up a question, because my boyfriend Rory, like, he doesn't wear glasses. He's very proud of the fact that he doesn't wear glasses. He's my age, so what is that? It's like 48. He'll be in February. So, but But that means no one's ever looked at his eyes. So if he
Right.
does have anything that might be like another issue, like should someone like that who doesn't actually wear glasses, now he's getting older so he can't see up close as well, and when he drives, so when we just drove from Maine, he was not, it gets dark and he's like, you need to take the wheel because he can't see, like everything is messed up with him. So I mean, is he somebody that even though he doesn't have technically bad vision, he should be seeing, and he should be seeing you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over age, here's the thing, like the first half of your life, it's really about your vision. Glasses, contacts, my vision is changing.
Right.
I need my prescription to be updated.
Sure.
I ran out of contacts.
Yeah,
and
that's
all this
me
kind of
and my
stuff.
girl. So we get
So
used to it.
eye
Yeah.
health there's not a whole lot going on usually, unless you're doing dumb things like sleeping in your contacts all
Right.
the time, self-inflicted, not wearing safety glasses when you're weed whacking in a ditch. I get a lot of that. These are your own problems. These are your own fault.
Yeah.
Okay, but after age 40, 45 and beyond, it's a shift to, we need to be looking at your eye health. Anatomical eye parts start failing. Your body, it's called birthdays.
Oh,
Stuff starts going wrong. That's why you need to have an eye exam every year, pretty much after the age 40, so that, again, we can find things early and prevent vision loss, you know? And
Okay.
it's not about glasses. When your retina's bleeding,
right.
glasses don't fix
Glasses
that.
aren't going to fix that.
Contacts don't fix that.
So, yeah. So someone like Rory who can really pretty much see, doesn't wear glasses, he should come in to get an eye exam.
And a massage.
And
And
a
then play
massage.
foosball.
Yeah,
We
and
have
just check-
muffins. Maybe Kurt's here, we'll kick the soccer ball around.
I'm telling you, hey, and then I do know that the seeing at night while you're driving, that's an issue that can be fixed, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's something that he should be seeing an eye doctor for.
Yeah,
Just
it could be
that
for any
statement
number
alone.
of reasons. Yeah.
How do you test for that? Like, I mean, would you turn the lights off and like run around with a flashlight?
Well, we schedule an appointment really late at night, and I have him come and pick me up at
And
my
then he
house
throws
about
stuff
9
at him.
o'clock. Yeah, and then we just go drive around together, and then we do an
We put
assessment.
him in the dark and
So-
throw stuff at his face, and if he doesn't see it, he needs glasses.
Right.
I think it's a valid question. So, well, I guess we'll just have to find out later. But how do you test for that?
So I have computerized readings of the eye that tell me different things. Certain parts of your eye, if there's something wrong with certain light receptors in your eye, you'll see worse
you
at
can
night.
see,
Yeah, but
okay.
your daytime vision will be fine.
So
And
you'll
people
see
say,
it in
"Oh,
the
I have so
eye."
much trouble seeing at night." I have a special device. Okay, it's called dark adaptation. It's a device.
Okay.
That measures in time how long it takes you for your vision to adapt from light to dark, which is what happens at dusk.
Oh,
If you have a healthy
okay.
retina, that happens in about 6 to 8 minutes. Okay.
Right.
If there's something wrong with a certain part of your retina, it will take you a lot longer for your eyes to dark adapt. You know, and vice versa, going back to adapt from dark back to light. And so I have an actual machine. There's an actual machine.
Okay.
It's called the AdaptDX, and it tests that. Yeah,
That's cool.
It's really
So
interesting.
you don't
never
have to
know.
run around with a flashlight.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think this was a long podcast, actually, but I'm super interested in what you do. And you're the first doctor that we've had on our podcast, right?
Sure enough.
Everyone else has been like painters or, you know, chefs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I loved your story. I really thank you for joining us today. We hope our listeners were as inspired. And I like this one quote that I found is like, one who fears failure limits his activities. Do you know who said that? Henry Ford. So
It's a good one.
yeah, he accomplished a lot. So don't forget to tune in for more interviews with local professionals as we continue to explore twists and turns that lead to triumph in the world of business. And if you enjoyed today's episode, which we know you did, please subscribe and leave us a review to help us reach even more listeners. So until next time, remember that every train wreck can be a stepping stone to something extraordinary. And thanks for joining us on the Cleveland Burning Podcast.
Thanks for coming, Scott.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks
Scott.
for having me. I
We'll see
really
you next
appreciate
time.
it.
That was awesome.